Yes, my fellow fanatics. We are back. Let's get cracking. Talk about our first ever Monday Night Football for this season. And we kick off in the Bay Area with the San Francisco 49ers, who came up just a little short against the Chiefs in the Super Bowl, against a returning AaronRodgers and the New York Jets. Niners, the last time I picked them, it was the Super Bowl. They lost, and I lost my hair. I'm not going to pick them again. Plus, I am an underdog type of guy. I always support the underdog. And with the Jets being a minus 4.5 underdog, I'm going to roll with them in this one. Sorry to my Niner fans. Sorry to my Bay Area people. Still love y'all. But let's move on to why. First off, let's talk about the running game. I think Breece Hall is going to be on a revenge tour with his injuries that he has already accumulated in the NFL, to kick off his career, essentially. I know he wants to get back and show out that he is one of the best, going up against the best running back in CMC. I think he wants to put some eyes on him and wants to be in that conversation of the best back, whether it's running or out of the backfield catching some passes. However, somehow, some way, if he needs a breather, they got a dog named Braylon Allen, a rookie out of Wisconsin, following in the legacy of Melvin Gordon, Jonathan Taylor, Corey Clement from the Eagles. I think Super Bowl champion with the Patriots, James White, had been there and played there. But he's a dog. So they got two-headed monster in the backfield for Aaron, just like they did kind of in Green Bay with Aaron Jones and A.J. Dillon. So that should be a good little balance for Aaron to work with. The depth that the Jets have on their wide receiving court is not being talked about enough, in my personal opinion. It's also eerily similar to the one of the Niners, as in they both have an X in Ayuk and Garrett Wilson, respectively. They both have a gadget guy. Niners have Debo, probably, arguably the best gadget guy. And Jets picked up Malachi Corley, who's been excellent in his college career. So we'll see how he rolls into that Jets offense. Talk about rolling. You always roll with the old reliable. And who's the old reliable for Aaron Rodgers? Allen Lazard. People forget that he was on that roster last year. I think he signed a 2 or 3 year deal, so he's still there for this year and maybe next. So he's always going to be reliable for Aaron. Anytime you need a third down or whatever, he's going to look to him. Yes, the Jets don't have a standout tight end like a George Kittle for them. However, in the red zone, they do also still have Mike Williams. I think he's 6'4", could box out almost any corner. That should be very interesting to see how people will cover him, especially in the end zone with Aaron, back shoulder, over the top, any type of throw that he could make. Offensive line will be a question. Their young center, Joe Tippmann, in his second year, he should be getting more comfortable. He didn't play with Aaron other than maybe like 4 snaps last year, so he needs to get comfortable with his cadence and, just having AaronRodgers behind you. But they upgraded that O-line tremendously. They got Tyron on that left. They got Morgan Moses on that right. That should solidify the tackle positions. The guards inside, you have Elijah Vera Tucker, and you have, why am I blanking out on his name right now? But they do have great guards inside as well. John Simpson, sorry bro. Former Raider, former Raven, now with the Jets. Both are excellent run blockers, but pass blocking should be a question for them, however. I think they will gel over time. Olu Fashanu still the 6th man off the bench for the outside, especially. So if Tyron Smith were to go down, if Morgan Moses were to go down, they do still have help. Max Mitchell's still there, so they are solidified in that end, but they still need time to gel. Kinlaw, Thomas, Oliver, 3 dogs on the defense for the Jets. All 3 played for the Niners previously. All might have revenge on their mind. So we'll see if any of those guys step up. With Hassan Reddick not being there, with Bryce Huff gone, Franklin Myers gone to Denver, I believe. They don't really have that much depth on that D-line. Will McDonald has not shown out yet. Jermaine Johnson, he's gotten some sacks here and there, but he has not been consistent. Where you have to, cover him or highlight him in your practice field or practice reps and meetings. But those guys would have to step up with Hassan Reddick being out. Other than that, that pass rush will have to only be generated by the linebackers, which they have in bunches. I think that's the only way. One of the best linebacking cores on both ends. It's a very interesting and similar matchups between these two teams. Even the head coach, he was a DC with the Niners, so it all makes sense. But the similarities still are very, eerie. But talent's also there to match with the Niners, so that's where it kind of, differentiates as maybe special teams wins the game, or, the veteran secondary of the Jets, man. They've all played together. Sauce up there, top 3 corner. DJ Reed, arguably one of the best number 2 corners in the league. Ashton Davis and his safety tandem partner, both have been there for a year or 2. Both have been developing, so all of them know how to play with each other, what they like, what they don't like. If they need to cover each other, they already have that understanding without having to talk about it. So I think that goes in part to the Niners having a little bit of changes. They're still kind of reeling off of the Super Bowl loss, as well as all this contract drama has led to a lot of missed reps in practice between each other. Yes, you guys are great, and by the end of the season, you guys might be on your way back to another Super Bowl. But at this current time, how will you perform? And for right now, I think Jets will, be just a little bit more ready, just a little bit more prepared, because they're a little bit more hungrier than the Niners. But it should be a very great game. ESPN Monday night. Troy and Joe Buck on the call. Catch you guys soon with the breakdown for the whole week. Peace.